Hey everybody, it's Daniel here for Mobile Syrup, and I have in front of me the BlackBerry Curve 9360. This is the Bell version, but it's not branded, so this is the same one that you're going to see at TELUS, and although Rogers has branded theirs. So let's just take a look at the hardware and a little bit of the software. This is running the new BlackBerry 7, and the internals are actually pretty beefed up compared to the previous generation of Blackberries. There's an 800 megahertz processor in here, 512 megabytes of RAM, and internal storage for apps. There's a 5 megapixel camera with a flash and a very high resolution screen of 480 by 360 at 2.44 inches. It's also only 11 millimeters thick, and it weighs less than 100 grams. So this is definitely the thinnest and lightest BlackBerry that has been released, at least in the full QWERTY form factor. And I have to say this is a great improvement over the 9300, the previous 3G Curve. You can see that the keyboard is very similar, but it also does not shake back and forth. It's very sturdy, and the screen is bright and vivid with excellent contrast and text reproduction. So let's just take a look through the hardware. On the top of the device, we have a 3.5 millimeter jack with the power button. On the front, we have the notification light and speaker grill. We also have the 4 BlackBerry buttons and the touchpad. We have the keyboard here, and you can see it's actually quite shallow compared to previous Curve versions, and it's a little bit thinner. It's only 60 millimeters from this side to this side, 119 millimeters from this side to this side, and as I said, 11 millimeters here, so it's quite a thin device. On the left hand side we have the micro USB port and nothing else. On the bottom we have the microphone. On the right hand side we have the convenience button here, which sticks out a little bit more than previous Curves, and that's because the buttons themselves are actually very thin. You can see they're just little nubs there. So in order to make up for that, they're very easy to press by being a little bit elongated, but not too bad. On top of that, we have the volume buttons as well as a play and pause button here. So unlike previous versions of the Curve, instead of having separate volume and music controls, they've been integrated into the volume controls. You hold down the top button to go next, bottom button to go back, and play, pause right in the middle there. Very convenient. On the back of the device, we have the 5 megapixel camera with flash, and we have this BlackBerry logo. So one of the main complaints that I had with this device was the battery cover. You can see it's extremely glossy, has it picks up fingerprints very easily, and is very flimsy, so you can actually push it right in. And we had the same problem with the Curve 9300, but and this is arguably a lot better, especially since the entire device is quite slim. But it's just ugly compared to the rest of the device, and this is how you take it off. So you just kind of grab it from the top. You can see the Bell SIM card in there. The EM1 battery is brand new to this device. No other devices use it as far as I know. It's a 1000 milliamp hour battery, but it does last quite a long time because this is a non-touchscreen device. You see the speaker at the bottom here, not too bad, but definitely could be improved, although I do like the design. There is a micro SD card slot for up to 32 gigabytes of extra storage, and as you can see here, there is NFC capabilities built in to the device. So the battery cover just snaps back on like that, and it is pretty secure once it gets back on there, so not too much to worry about there. When we turn on the device, you can see this is running BlackBerry 7, and this is the same version that's running on the Bold 9900 as well as the Torch 9810 and 9860, although as I said, this is not touchscreen enabled, but the overall performance, this is an 800 megahertz processor, and it's pretty good. I'll show you some pictures that come with the device. You can see the color reproduction is excellent. very vivid, pretty much exactly the same as the other high-end versions. I'd say this is a better screen than the 8900. Not quite as good as the 9900, but definitely good brightness. This is actually a 10% brightness and excellent viewing angles as well. So you're not going to be disappointed when it comes to reading emails, text, etc. A couple other things that have been improved on BlackBerry 7. You have the voice search here, which can search your entire device, and it can kind of aggregate your contacts as well as other applications. The new BlackBerry App World here, this is App World 3.0, and you can see it's much improved in terms of the design over the previous version, but unfortunately the number of apps still very much below that of other platforms. And what I don't quite understand is that it integrates playbook apps into your uninstalled portion here. Most of these I can't actually install, and I don't know how to filter them based on device, so I'm not sure why those are included there. They are under your BlackBerry account information, but it should be able to differentiate between BlackBerry and Playbook apps. The other nice thing about the BlackBerry account is that once I logged into my BlackBerry account, it actually loaded up all my old email addresses and my BlackBerry Messenger list right from there. It also synced my Google contacts and my calendar right then and there. So that's actually a very nice feature that is new to BlackBerry 7 as far as I know. So let's just go over to mobilesyrup.com. Let's see if I'm typing that right. This is the new BlackBerry 7 browser. It's up to 40% faster than the BlackBerry 6 browser and 100% faster than the BlackBerry 5 browser. It's extremely HTML5 compliant, so you'll be able to watch HTML5 capable movies, as well as YouTube, which is all HTML5 encoded now. You see, pages do take quite a bit of time to load up. This is the desktop version of Mobile Syrup, but when they do load up, they're extremely accurately rendered, and zooming is pretty smooth. And for the most part, text realigns itself correctly. I'm not going to recommend you browse on this for long periods of time, because, as I said, it does take a little bit of time to load up, and it's still not, the greatest performer. Not as good as the higher-end Bold 9900, Torch 9810, but this is definitely an improvement over somebody coming from a previous Curve. So, again, temper your expectations here, but you should be pleasantly surprised if you're coming from a previous Curve. This is a huge step up in terms of overall performance. This is actually much faster than the Bold 9780, which uses a 624 megahertz processor and has exactly the same internals. We found that this is a much faster device than that one. So this is a $350 phone outright, and a lot of applications are being updated for BlackBerry 7. That's not to say your favorite applications from iOS and Android are ever going to be ported here, but we do have built-in applications. We have instant messaging. We have some excellent native or first-party applications such as BlackBerry Protect. We have BlackBerry News. We have voice notes recorder, voice dialing, documents to go. We also have some built-in games, which are the same ones that were in the previous 10 versions. Social feeds is it aggregates your Twitter and Facebook, and it can also be an aggregator for your RSS reader. There is a separate news reader here that comes preloaded on the device. That's excellent. Bell's also included a couple shortcuts, including your TV and radio and GPS navigator. So not too much bloatware here, which is nicely appreciated. Facebook and Twitter do come preloaded, as well as the new BlackBerry Maps application. So all I can say is that this is a definite step up from previous BlackBerry Curves. When you first pick it up, it's so thin and so light, you really won't even recognize it as the same clunky device as its progenitor. The 8520, the 9300, those are all cheap devices compared to this. This one reminds me more of the 8830 mixed with the 8900. There's definitely care taken to increase the usability of this device. The keyboard is by far the best curved keyboard that we've used, and overall the touchpad over here is very sensitive and is definitely improved over previous versions, especially since BlackBerry 7 has been optimized for smoothness with liquid graphics. So if you are looking for a BlackBerry device and don't want to spend the egregious amount of money that they're charging for the Bold 9900, I actually would recommend this if you don't need a touchscreen device. The battery life is a lot longer in here, and overall I like the keyboard. Maybe not as much as the 9900, but almost as much. And if you have small thumbs, it shouldn't be an issue with long periods of typing. If you do have bigger thumbs, I would recommend going with the Bold, since it's got a much wider, it's 66 millimeters as opposed to 60, and the keyboard is just meant for long periods of typing. So this has been Daniel with Mobile Syrup, and this is the BlackBerry Curve 9360 from Bell. Thanks so much for watching, guys.